All right, so before we can make a roll cage, we're going to kind of break down how I build a roll cage. And all of them look quite similar because that's the way I like to build my roll cages. So I may go tapered in more instead of, because it doesn't need to be that crazy wide because it's going to be a one-seater, but it's like a 1.5-seater chassis.
You can have your cooler next to you with drinks and stuff.
Yeah, you know, the 6-pack of sodas, these ain't going to keep cool. So we got to mount our seat first before we can find out how high our hoop needs to be. So I always start off with my main hoop. So it's a solid piece of tube all the way to the side piece for strength. Then I'll come off of this point right here where this meets this, and I'll come into it and then also come off of that back there. So it's going to be triangulated right above your cranium. And this one's going to come in and be on the same angle as this. So this cage is going to be lean back, lean back. Then what we got to do is build this nose back because it was too short and it was super thin metal. It was cracking, so we're going to beef up. We're going to show you how to beef up an existing chassis really well. So what we have to do first is mount our seat. We're going with a Chinese racing seat because it's the safest on the market. We took some angle iron and this is 1.5-inch angle iron, and I've notched it for 1.25 tubing. And I had to make my mark where my other notch will be, so it'll lay against this tube and sit down on this one. We can weld it all the way around and weld it back there, and this will be where our seat bolts down.
Now it's locked in place.
Now it's locked in place.
See, now it's locked in place. Okay, so really, you say, oh.
So I'm going to notch this and notch this other runner. Then we can set those in place. Mark where we have to grind our paint and get these welded in, then measure the height of my head with the helmet on. I always leave about 3 inches between my helmet and the roll cage. They might look tall on camera, but they are not. They're perfectly suited. But,
for you.
Well, for everybody. Really.
Well, yeah, because
it ain't like from my bottom to my head I'm taller than you. Probably my legs are. They ain't going to affect the cage. You're an idiot.
You're a more, well, they're probably both taller.
We're almost same height.
Stand hip to hip and let's see. That's not hip to hip.
Get real close.
I mean, you're pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But look at Lonnie standing in front of me. Look at my shoulders. That's like, how many inches is that? That's crazy. Divide whatever those seat hole spacing was apart, and then make me a mark on each side so we know where the center of this angle iron needs to be. Boop. And then you'll know if you need to cut the trim.
So it would be...
I don't know. We don't need to know. Just do it. Just do it.
I'm trying to do quick maths in my head. Like right there.
Dang, that's nice. So there we go. So I'm going to do the other one. We'll get these welded in, and then we'll be able to mount our seat, start measuring. Make sure to check below the video for our new merch. We got some stuff for the ladies too. But we came out with a few logos. They're pretty cool. But that's a super quick and easy way to mount seats. Just do angle iron, notch it. You can even notch it on a bench grinder if you don't have a notcher. But I just use a drill. It ain't like I had any special tools. I don't, like this is slanted pretty hardcore. You're never gonna meet that with your seat unless you're laid back G style, you know. So we'll have room back here. And we are going to do a firewall back here. I don't know if I'm going to do it out of steel or removable alumini, but probably aluminum. Just keep weight down. The diamond plate we always use because it's strong and you know. So we'll drill the holes in the seat and then we can start measuring, baby daddy.
Oh, that's me.
So Lonnie's going to measure to the top of my helmet, and then we're going to add about 3 inches to that. To find out our hoop, and then we'll minus off the height that this is off the weld table. It's just easier for him to go from the table. Do I need to shut this, or is it good?
It's good. Right at 44 inches.
So we can do it at
47 would be plus
47.
And then this
right here.
is 15 3/4.
So we said 47.
Yeah.
That'd be 32. So it'd be 31 1/4, right?
Yep.
31 1/4. Okay. So our hoop needs to be 31 1/4 high. We already measured the width of the cage, and it was 44 in the graph. A giraffe.
Sure.
So 44 1/2, and then what did I say?
31 3/4.
And a quarter.
Quarter.
31 1/4 high. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer that onto our concrete to draw it out and physically draw where our bends are gonna be. I need to decide if I want it to taper in. Would that look dumb? That's a scary thing.
Well, I think that's probably what you're going to want to do since you're turning a 2-seater into a 1-seater, because it's going to be so wide. At least the roll cage will kind of taper in. And
Yeah, I could do one of two things. I could just do a hoop with a bend that goes straight down, or I could do a slant that goes into another slant that goes into a flat. Is that showing up?
yeah, it's light consent color, silver and gray.
Now we're going to measure off of this 31 inches. Hold me at 1
32 1/4.
Okay, so what we do is we've got this drawn out. So I went up 10 inches. You know, this line is where our cage is going to meet this hoop. So I went up 10 inches and put a mark, and then I found out how wide I wanted the flat spot above my head. We went 20 inches. So we found the center of this, and we went out 10 inches on each side. And then you just draw a line to those, and then you're going to find out what angle this is and what angle this is using the angle finders we have linked in the video's description. They're super cheap on Amazon, and they help you a ton. Now, it doesn't matter if you're using a Harbor Freight bender or like we fortunately have a CNC bender. This thing is doing nothing different than a Harbor Freight bender. It's just doing it like easier, basically. But a Harbor Freight bender will do everything this one will do other than 180s, you know, above 90-degree bends. So don't overthink it because we have this big machine. It doesn't matter. We used to build this same stuff with a pretty standard bender. So anyways, we found out our bend, 30-degree, 60-degree to equal this. Then we bent a true 30-degree bend. We'll have a video later about how to find out your overbend. That would have to be a separate video. I don't want to get into it, but this is a true 30-degree bend. We have scribed it so we know exactly where our bend starts, like where the die starts. So what we do is we lay this in here and line it up with our lines, and we mark that mark. Then we have a 60-degree bend. We've done the same thing, and we lay it in there, line it up with our lines, and we know now if we start, we're going to start our bends up here. So basically we find center of our tube that we're going to be bending, and we measured the width between this black mark and this black mark, and that's where our bends need to start in our die, and that was 14.5 inches. So we found the center of our stick of tube, and we went out 7 1/4 and made marks, and that's where our dies are going to be, our line on our die. If you never use a bender, this might be gobbledygook. But so what we'll do is bend these two 60-degree bends, then we can lay that big A looking shape on this and then transfer this mark on, because these legs are going to shoot way out here. Mark it, bend it, and then lay it back in here. Make sure we look pretty good, and then this is where the depth of our notch needs to be, the mouth of our notch. So we'll cut the tube 1/2 inch or so longer than this mark. We can mark it on the tube, and then we can cut the excess off, throw it in the notcher, and we can throw our tack or our tube on there. But we also need to find out what the degree of this slant is, because we want our cage to slant with this to go with this bar here. So we'll find that degree in a little bit, and that's what we'll set our notcher to. Let's say this is a, I don't know, 15, 20 degree angle. Then we'll set our notcher to 15 or 20 degrees and do a 15 to 20 degree notch on each side. That will lay our cage in there. That sound okay?
Yeah, I'm just, well, my brain.
Oh, do you remember the first time we ever tried to use any bender?
Awful.
We were like, what the heck do you do?
It was the worst time of my entire life.
Whole entire life?
Whole entire life. 65 degrees.
Right? Okay.
All right.
It's at -0.5. You want me to go ahead and zero her?
Sure. Okay. I'm caged! You don't cage your vet! Losing that. Go ahead and zero it, player. Now we gotta throw a level. Okay, go ahead and put this clamp on first. Nope, that's not what I said.
Oh,
Clamp.
You right.
You right, player. Make sure it's all the way down in there. We always gotta level this.
I'm gonna go ahead and zero this 'cause
Oh.
I might move it.
Alright, tighten the far outlet. You good?
Yes, sir.
Your power on?
Yep.
We lube this so it will slip. Alright, go ahead. Come on, man.
I lost my balance, guy.
Alright, did you loosen that bolt?
Yeah.
Okay, now, good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. And now we have these to keep on the shelf, and I'm going to TIG weld the degree of bend, so we always have those sitting around to do this, so we don't have to waste tubing when we do it. Do the next one.
So now we mark these black marks.
Yeah, now we just mark these and make sure to put an X. Our bend needs to happen on this side of our mark. So I always put an X. So let me know. We have a 1 1/4 axle collar from Go Power Sports. We keep a 1 inch, 1 1/4, and 1 1/2 because that's the dies we have. And this sets perfect around this to allow us to mark a perfect circle all the way around this hog. Yeesh. Yippers. Michael, I'll tell you about yippers.
Yeesh.
You don't even know.
No, because it's got the
You never knew, Lonnie.
I knew the whole time.
Alright, put her down. Yeah, you put it down the other way.
I could have.
So dumb.
Didn't.
You were so dumb, for real.
But in my defense, I didn't.
Alright.
Still low.
Do not let go. Okay, go ahead and put the hammer down, player. Whoa, 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 whoa. Turned it to 30. We about messed up.
Oh my God.
Hard.
And then it's 4, right?
Yeah, 4. Oh, that scared me. Heart dropped. You know how much tube it is now?
Oh, what'd I do?
It's more expensive than baby formula. You can keep a baby alive for less than you can build a buggy for.
Hold on, I'm gonna zero it.
Okay.
It held true.
Loosen. Pull that. We put it on the wrong side.
Did we really?
No.
Oh my God.
I look at the
Why
camera, like, ta-ta-ta. No, we've done that so many times in our days.
This would be bad though, because this is a full stick.
Yeah, we went through a full stick of finding over bends and under bends and junder glens. Yeah, now you go out there, Lonnie, and hold that again. Throw the Rebel on it.
That's it.
All right, hold this up. That's pretty good, player. Yep. Okay.
You ready?
Dang, dog. All right, let me go unjed clamp me and then zero that mug out. Do you think we're right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be right no matter what.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, player. That is nice. Really close. It'll need tweaked a hair bit, but that's perfectly fine. Lays right in there. And our concrete's not level, so don't judge that. This on concrete, I'm telling you. Don't ever get City Code Boy to do your concrete. I'll tell you that much right now. Okay, so how we're gonna mark this is I'm gonna mark it right smeared while it's sitting here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it up on the weld table and clamp that down and measure up from the weld table what this is and match it on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So we're dead even.
Why don't you just do that much past the line over there? Huh?
Because what if we're not perfectly square in there? Then we don't gotta we clamp it to the table like this.
Yeesh.
That's perfect hoop right there, play. And people ask me why I don't start with the same exact length tubing that I'm gonna need. Because we're gonna be cutting, you know, a good 14, 15 inches off that. See if that measures that. I'm curious. Dang it. 16 3/4.
17 inches almost. 16 3/4, okay.
But that would be better, honestly. And we would have like a, you know, what, a 3-foot piece of stick. But what we usually, we always end up using quite a bit, especially any straight piece, like for angles. Like we're gonna need 2 small pieces to go from here up to this nose piece. That's where we'll use stuff like that. So yeah, it probably would be better, but build your own and graph about it. I cleaned this table like a son of a gun. We had a guy there in SEMA talking smack because our table was so clean. It's like, you're mad at us for taking care of our equipment? He was like, oh, let's tell stories. You got marks on it and whatnot.
He's the type that as soon as he got in his garage,
Yeah, it's gonna happen someday. Might as well do it. 32, dead on. He's the type that blacks his wife eyes just so she got some miles on her as soon as he marries her. Yeah, so this is 120 degrees. It's 119.7. So we minus that from 180. What does that give us? That gives us 60. And we split that in half because that's what our notch is going to be. 30. Does that sound right to you? That sure ain't no 60-degree notch. You think it's a 60? Sorry, yelling at you.
It don't even look like a 30. The other thing's
I could go back in time.
If it ain't accurate. You're about to be a coal miner too, boy.
When I get home,
Bruh.
I'm going to punch your mama right in the mouth.
Holy moly! Hey, here it is.
Shoot, that be 10.
Woo! Hey, kids, you can goof off. I hate you.
Whoa.
Hate's a strong word. And it's
And
the only one that
I
fits.
strongly say it.
You can goof off and daydream and math, except for geometry. Pay attention to that one.
I didn't have to take geometry.
Oh, I did.
I didn't. Back when we was in school, back when I was a boy,
They teach you algebra. Unless you're a scientist, you're never going to use that.
so we haven't notched it yet, but yeah, so it'll be where we'll tweak it in just a hair, set it down on there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need about a ½ inch on each side.
Yeah, we tweak it.
Tweak.
That's what it'll look like. It'll be at that angle too, about that right there. So now we need to make sure we gotta put this tube right back in like this. This is the problem with my notcher. See, I can't get it in there. So what we're gonna have to do is literally clamp the tubing notcher on this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just eyeball the best we can. Hold this for a minute. I'll be pretty close.
Pretty close and pretty close.
There we go, baby. Lock her down. Hold me right here, Lonnie.
It's not for.
Those little pieces were hot.
It wouldn't hit me in the lip. Pull it out. And then I'm wanting to come up with
heavy too. That
what?
notcher.
Oh, it is, yeah. I'm wanting to come up with a, see, this is just clamped in a vise. Wanting to make a stand that goes way out and bends, a big C stand, basically. and then make it adjustable so you can pull a pin out and raise it. So I can put my notcher way up here if I have to. I just haven't made it yet.
You want to try it?
Jump it yet?
No.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah, you moved it.
All right. Roll cage done. Next build. Stop on this for 6 to 8 weeks. Start another one. So now we can use some spent tubing, and that's what I was saying, like pieces that we have offcuts, we use them for stuff like this. Like we can bring bars from here and tie in dead in this bend or up here, however we want to make it work. So now we can start tying in little cross pieces. We can bring a piece in until it hits just right in this area. Just whatever we want to really do.
Oh, you good line?
Look at this chicken tender eating a sack of garbage. Okay, so we got this nose put on. It looks dumb right now, but it's gonna. And we also got this arm right here. Lonnie's cleaning up the second one. Look at him. So we're going to put the roof bars in, probably put the little windshield eyebrow that I always do, and then we're going to bring the nose piece, because this nose is so small because of this dashboard, we're going to bring the nose pieces from this into the actual window bars, and then we're going to add a second layer. And I think it'll tie it all in together and look fine, and we don't have to cut that dashboard out. So yeah, I'll show you when we do it. Doing a 50-degree bend on these arms here. Now we're going to tack them, tweak everything because we have some movement in them. You good, Lonnie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so like I said, the front end's going to look a little schminky dinky right now, but
that's getting fixed.
It's getting fixed. So we've been using these magnetic clamps from Centurio along with a bunch of other their tools on this build. Super handy tools. I taught myself how to notch tube and figure out notches the hard way, which is laying it up there, figuring out where to make the mark, and you kind of teach yourself through trial and error over the years. But I'm going to tell you guys, it is much better buying the Centurio tools and investing. I'm having to reteach myself how to notch tube with the Centurio tools, but I'm telling you, as soon as I learn how to use the tools in a certain manner, it completely changes how fast I can fabricate. It takes all the guesswork out. So you might see me doing the old way where I lay it up there just because I got that burn in my brain, and it does waste tubing because sometimes we do mess up on a notch. Then we have to grab a whole new piece of tubing off the shelf and start over. We always use the miss bends, but it's going to save you money in the long run because of the fact that you're going to be not wasting as much tubing. So I'm serious, guys. I highly recommend their tools. This is their magnet tools. Like right now, no one's out here in the shop with me. I really need to hold these back bars. We bent a 40-degree bend in them. We put the notch in 5 3/8 from the start of the bend. And then I also laid it up here and figured out the angle the notch needs to come in. Now again, the Centurio tools would do really well here, but again, I'm having to reteach myself how to notch tube using their tools. And like I said, as soon as I learn how to do it, it's like, how did I live without these? Because it takes all the guesswork out. But it's just like I said, it's hard to teach a old dog new tricks, and that's exactly what I'm having to do. So I put these magnetic clamps, I put one here, one up there. I can lay the tube in, and then these things will hold it no matter what, and I can get it clocked the right way in the right position, then come in and put 4 tacks on it, and that part is done. Super handy. So make sure to check out the links and the discount code located in the video's description, because Centurio is making me fab faster and it'll make you fab faster. Alrighty guys, so we got, for the most part, we got the cage done. There's a bunch of little stuff we can add into it, but this video is already getting a little lengthy. So I hope this helps you to be able to fabricate. I know we don't break down every single little bar that we put in a roll cage, but the hoop is the biggest deal. Once you get that, once you figure out how to make hoops like that, it makes the whole thing super easy. So I hope you like the way the Yerf Dog's looking. I think it looks freaking sick. And we are going to make a video series on breaking down, like we did the Centurial tools before. On the straight piece, we're going to go into more depth as I learn how to fully use them. Because like I said, I'm having to teach myself how to use these tools because I've taught myself how to notch tube without them. And it does speed up the process a ton using their tools. So there will be a series like that. Also, we're having a meetup on April 28th through the 30th at Turkey Bay or Land Between the Lakes, whatever you want to call it. You can go to rbgkarts.com/events to find out all the information on that. We would love to see you out there. Even if you don't have a vehicle, you can come out and hang out with us. It will be Lonnie's birthday bash, so come out, hang out with us, enjoy some time. Hopefully you guys can make it because it'd be cool to see you there. We're going to try to have the Candy go-kart, my daughter's, the supercharged buggy, the Talon, Lonnie's Deuce, and probably the Blueberry and a couple mini bikes down there. So we'll have a variety of things that we're going to be riding, and we're super pumped about it. But let me know what you think about this Yerf Dog. Let me walk around this side. See, we got frames tore apart, getting ready for powder coat. Massive piles of parts everywhere. The supercharged buggy comes in next to get ready for powder coat, so it's very exciting to get that thing done. But let me know what you think about this new Yerf Dog chassis. I think it's going to be super sick. It's going to be an awesome car. It does not have reverse at first when we build this, but we're going to come up with a reverse solution, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, supporting us, and we can't thank you enough. We love that we're able to learn this stuff and be able to pass our information that we've learned through trial and error on to you guys. So let's know what you think, and if you have any questions, put them down below. We love you guys, we thank you, and God bless.